Okay, our sound is restored now. So let me start afresh. The truth remains that each and every one of us have something going on with our lives, or rather in our lives. Or Mr. Toby, I used you as an example earlier. I said, come on, you have things, you have challenges, personal, you have your work routine, you have your job, you have your business, you have your family, you have things you are trying to balance and put in place. That's actually what, that's for you. The same thing goes on with Madam Funke in Ogun State. Everybody's very busy. I talked about Agnes, everybody's very busy. Miss Scholar, we've been talking for some months now about how busy you are with so many commitments here and there. Madam Morobina, we've been talking, oh, this one's going to work, this one will work. Listen, something with me too. I have a whole lot going on currently. A whole lot going on currently. Then I said, the deceit of the mind is to believe that a time is going to come when there will be less of these problems. That's the deceit of the mind. There's going to be less of these challenges. There's going to be less of these issues that we have. Or maybe a time is going to come when I'm going to have less of, more of my time to myself. A time is going to come when I'm going to have more time for the kids. A time is going to come when I'm going to have more time for the business. How many of you believe that a time is going to come when you have more time for the things you think you want to do, you believe, or things you believe in? How many of you really believe the time is going to come, when things will just readjust and give you enough time needed to build your business? Let me see with your hand if you believe so. I want us to be very sincere. If you believe a time is going to come when you have more time, send me a message, send me one on chat. If you believe that, type 1 on the chat. I want to see you. If you believe that, type 1 on the chat. Quickly. Type 1 on the chat. Okay. I can see Mama typing 1. Mama typed 1 on the chat. Okay. I can see 1 from Mama Agnes. Mama believes that the time is going to come when she's going to have more time for her business and things. Okay. Now I'm going to say something very, very strong here. That time will not present itself. We choose. I can say Madam Funke too. A time is going to come when you have more time. Let me tell you something. You choose what to do in time. When you understand the power of choice, it puts you in a place where you take hold of your life. You take hold of your present. You take hold of your future. Such time will never come. I'm sorry. Such time will never come. I always see life as a radio station. If you tune on the radio station right now, they are playing something. And I used to negotiate with them many times. Either they are playing music or whatever. Sometimes you bring up an advert to play and they'll be like, oh, no, we're not going to pay this up. It is too small. The price is too cheap. We wanted to pay us 50,000 naira. I say, no, we're going to pay you 15,000. We're going to pay you 20,000 naira. And then I'll be like, hey, come on. If you don't take this advert, you will still play something in the station. Maybe you're playing music and that will not bring you any money. Why don't you play my advert? Take my 20,000 naira, because at the same time you're playing the music and play my advert and then you get 20,000 naira. That's one thing about life. Our life is spread out in time. When we talk about our life, it's actually talking about what? Our time. The seconds, the minutes, the hours, the days, the weeks, the months, the years is what makes up life. So to live from what I call from a place of rest, To live your life in a strong way is to live from a place of rest. It is not good to live life from a place of stress. Okay? I can see what Amorobina said. She said, there is no such time. I think I like what she said. She said, there is no such time. You can only decide to make out time for your business. You can only decide what to do in your time. Exactly what I'm saying. Now, that decision, that choice, understanding it makes you to lead your life from a place of rest because you have understanding. Anytime you live in life from a stress point, you will never give in your best. You will be more influenced by the external factors. You'll be more influenced by things you think you can't control. Why? Because no focus. Why? Because there is what I call the inner drive to push. It's because you are allowing things, you believe things are just happening to you. No, things don't happen to you. Yes, you decide how to make things happen. Once you are in a position where life is happening to you, you are out of balance. Never you forget that. You will never achieve, or you will seldom achieve great things when life is just hitting on you. Pum, 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 pum. Whatever you are doing currently is what you've chosen to do currently. You have to come to terms with it. When you're not given enough time to grow your business, it is because you've chosen not to give enough time to grow your business. Don't say, Mr. Nonso, you don't understand. We don't know the associations I belong to. Mr. Nonso, you don't know the situation I am in right now. Mr. Nonso, you don't know how tight my schedule is. When you keep saying things like that, when you keep living like that, you keep recreating the same life. Just this moment in time, it shouldn't take you more than 30 seconds. It shouldn't take you more than 30 seconds. Just imagine the state where you are currently and tell yourself, I chose to be doing this now. Just say it to yourself. I chose to be where I am, doing what I'm doing now. I want you to unmute yourself and do that for me. Do that for yourself and do that for me, because it's very, very important. I really want us to really build our business from a place of rest, because this is actually one of the greatest secrets to continuity. People don't know. The reason why a lot of people are frustrated is because they have not come to terms with life. I want you to unmute yourself and repeat after me. I'm doing currently what I want to do.
I'm doing currently what I want to do.
Can we repeat again after me? I'm doing currently what I have chosen to do.
I'm doing currently what I've chosen to do.
Now, thank you so much for repeating after me. Now, can you tell me, can you just testify to me, those of you that said it, you are a little bit more at rest. You're a little bit more at rest. That's what it is. Mr. Val, call your colleague. Should be here now. I'm giving only 5 minutes. Okay. See the rest. So, Mr. Toby, how did you feel now? How did you feel?
Very, very, very relieved.
You felt relieved. I'm telling you, you felt very relieved. I'm doing currently what I've chosen to do. That's what you've chosen to do. And also, very, very important.
Thank you.
Very, very important. One in charge of what you believe. I believe what I've chosen to believe. I want to repeat after me. I believe what I've chosen to believe. Can you repeat it again? Can you repeat after me saying that? I believe
I
what I've
believe what I've
believe.
chosen to believe.
I believe what I've chosen to believe.
simple. Your belief that you choose out. Your actions that you choose out. You know, it makes you, this, see, I'm really getting back to the root of living a very successful life. You are the one that choose it. Mr. Nusa, I don't have time for the business. I've chosen not to create time for the business. Come on. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what it is. Mr. Nusa, you don't know how tight my schedule is. Come on. That's a decision you've made. Come on. And I need you to get that. That's where you've chosen to be. Come on. I need you to believe that. You get what I'm saying? I hope all of you get what I'm saying, right? Don't ever act as if, you don't have control. You do. Someone said, you are the CEO of your own life, the director. Your life is like a movie. You're the one, you write the script. You are the one directing. Listen to me carefully. In the Holy Book, there is a passage that says, write the vision down, make it plain, that they that read may run with it. Who is to write down the vision of your life, the script of your life? Can someone tell me who is supposed to write it? Tell me, who is supposed to write it down? Can someone tell me who is to write it down?
I'm to write it down.
It's me. Hi.
I have to write it down. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something very powerful. You have to write it down. You have to make it plain. You know what it means to make it plain? Make it simple. Come on. Write the vision down. How many of you have the vision of your life, different aspects of your life well written down? How many of you do? The one that created you said, write it down. Don't assume you have it in your head. Write it down. The one that created you, gave you breath, is telling you, write what you want to accomplish in your life. Write it down. And he said, don't make it ambiguous. Make it plain, so that anybody that reads it should be able to run with it. Now, I always ask, who is the first person that reads your visions and the things you want to accomplish? Who is the first person that reads it? Can someone tell me? Who is the first person that reads it?
Myself.
Oh,
Huh?
Myself.
me, of course.
You are the first that will read it. So can you imagine people not writing down what they want to accomplish in life? Where is the blueprint for your success in this business? Where is it? The reason why, someone was sharing with me, how marriage is making him. I have a lot of people not to do the business. And I said, you have to be very careful. The first thing I told the person is, I said, be very careful. You must believe that you can be a super mom, be a super wife, and also be a super business woman. You must believe you can be a super daddy, super husband, and also be a super businessman. Sometimes situations may not present it that way, but you must believe it for yourself. I have some women that believe. There's some of things I have a mentee here. I'm someone I'm mentoring here, and I always tell her, she always tell me things like, Mr. Noni, when people succeed too much from where I'm coming from, they look at you as someone that is misbehaving somehow, somewhat. They don't see you, but I want to succeed. And this person is actually making serious progress. My response will always be, don't conform to their environment. In fact, there are some environment that believe when a woman, maybe a single woman, and you succeed so much, buy a car, buy a house, the men there get intimidated. And it's as if they run away from you. Let me tell you, if you believe it, if you believe that life, let me tell you what happened to you. When you succeed, you believe that every good person, every good guy will always come for people that don't have money. But you have to confess to yourself and believe that, you know what? That there are men that are looking, watching out for serious, focused, minded, business working ladies. You must believe it for yourself as a young man, that you can be super successful in whatever you are doing without being distracted. You must believe it for yourself. When I share the testimony of my life with some people, they tell me I am lying as a young man. When I share my success story with some people, how I grew up, they say you are just lying. Are you telling me you just went to the university, nothing, you are blah, blah, blah? I say, come on. It all starts with what you believe. You own your own belief. You choose what to believe. I want you to use this period between now and end of the year, use it for yourself to work on what you've chosen to believe. Many of you have chosen to believe that your current situation is hindering you from building the business. That is your belief. Own it up. Own it up. It's your belief. Situations don't make you. Situations don't make your life. Things that happen to you don't make your life. What makes your life is what you believe on the inside. As a person, I'm going through personally lots and lots of mental, physical, any kind of like transition. One thing I keep telling myself is, this guy, young man, you are responsible for it. So let's go back to the formula. Your creator said, write the vision of your life, what you want to accomplish, bring it to your business, write the vision of your business. Whatever you find your hand to do, write it down. Sir Churchill is giving me the explanation, the Bible location of it. Habakkuk 2 verse 2. Write it down. Don't assume. This is exactly what I want you to get into our skull, our brain, our mind today. Don't assume you know the direction of your life. Don't assume. You want to be an entrepreneur, have a diary, have a book. I wish I have enough time. The places where I was writing down my visions, where I'm supposed to, where I'm to earn 150,000 naira. Can you imagine where someone like me? There was a time I wrote down, I will earn 150,000 naira and more. Can you imagine someone like me? There was a time I wrote it down. 2007, thereabout. Write it down. All the ideas may not come, but write out the things you're already doing, how you tend to get there. Write it down. Your maker is telling you, is giving you the formula to be able to succeed. And I said, make it plain. Please don't speak big grammar on your goals and your dreams. So don't speak big grammar. Don't speak big grammar. Someone like me, maybe I want to earn. I earn $10,000 because that's my monthly goal for next year. $10,000 consistently every month. I earn $10,000 consistently every month. I'm going to lead us into doing quite a lot of crazy things by next year. I want you to follow me. If anyone that follows me next, I want us to take a journey of success next year. We're going to take it together. Write it down. Don't assume. Don't say, I want to be a millionaire. No, write it down. How much? And I said, make it plain. Make it in a simple language. You have a business. You were a teacher. You have a school. What's the level of growth you want to experience in your school? You have a career. What level of growth do you want to experience in that career? In our business of AIM Global, what level of growth do you want to achieve? You want to accomplish? Toby, did you write it down this year? You must be a silver executive, gold executive. Did you write it down this year and pour your soul into becoming it? Did you? If we can be sincere with ourselves, if we can be genuine and sincere with ourselves, you will find out that the things we accomplished this year is actually by God's grace and mercy. If it is according to his principles, we should not even have achieved anything at all. If we should be sincere with ourselves. How many of you believe with me? How many of you believe me? Let me see with your hand. If you believe me, let me see with your hand. If it is about principles of success that God has laid down for us, we are nowhere to be found. The little things we achieve here and there this year is just by the special mercy of God. They're just, mercy. But you cannot grow in life living by mercy. Mercy is for children. My mentor always teach me. A child is always the one saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Anytime you're saying, I'm sorry, I am sorry, I will do better. You are not growing. So I will get better with prospecting. So I will get better with writing down the things I want to accomplish. So I will get better. So I will get better. You are not growing. You are at the level of mercy. People living at the level of mercy, they are not growing. Waiting to be told things before they do it. You are not growing. Write it down. Make it plain. So that they that read, that's the next thing. That's the third item there. Those that read. How many times do you go back to read the things you want to accomplish? How many times do you go back to your drawing plan? Have you ever seen a builder that builds and never have the plan of his building with him every day? Has it ever happened? Sachachi, you are an engineer. Can it ever happen as an engineer? Can it ever happen? In any form of engineering, you are building something and you don't have a blueprint. Can it ever happen, sir?
No, sir.
Sir, can it ever happen?
Jonathan. No, sir.
It will never happen. You must be with your blueprint every single day. You must have something that reminds you of the blueprint. You must have something that represents, that shows you, that directs you on wherever you are at any given point in time, different stages of the project. Many of us haven't seen our life as a project. We've not been seeing your life as a project. That's the reason why 10 years will pass and they ask you, can you say significantly what you did with your past 10 years? You cannot show something very substantial. It's because you haven't seen your life as a project. One of the things I'm going to be leading us by next year is to have a 7 years master plan. 7 years. Bring it down to 12 months, 3 years to 2 years, sorry, and then bring it down to what? 12 months, bring it down to every month. Have you seen your life as a project? If they ask you now in the next 3 years now, maybe you are 35 years, and they ask you now, by the time you are 40, what do you want to accomplish? Some of you don't know. You will just say, I want to have become. Do you have it written down? No. You are 40 something, and they ask you, what stage are you currently in now? What are you currently working on? And where do you want to be in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, your 50 years? You are 50, and they ask you right now, between your 50 and your 60, what do you want to accomplish? You are 60. Between 60 and 70, what do you want to accomplish? You are 70. Between 70 and 80, what do you want to accomplish? We have no idea. Because we failed from the beginning. It's not written down. Some of us that wrote it down wrote it very ambiguous. I want to be a billionaire. It's an ambiguous statement. Make it plain, simple. Then the third item is what? I want someone that will write these things down for me. Okay? Then the third one is what? Read, review, go back to the plan. Am I building according to plan? Your life is like a building. Your business is like a building. This business of AIM Global, am I really building it? You don't do business. You are building a business. You are actually building something. My mentor always teach us saying, I love you so much, Pastor David Ifechukwu. You always teach us saying, work means building. Work means profitability. What are you building? If you're not building something, then you're not working. You're just moving up and down. Activity does not equal productivity. What are you really building? Take a look at our AIM Global business. Some of you are recruiting people randomly without building something. What are you building? Are you trying to build a team that can duplicate? What are you really building? Are you building something? Do you think we are building something? Do you think we are building? It's very important we all answer this question for ourselves. Are you really building something in this business? Are you? Come on, I know this is like a solemn call, but I'm trying to lead you. Many of you see me as a role model in the business, but I'm not even kind of like very proud of my own achievements. No. I'm not. I'm not proud of my own achievements. I'm not. So I want you to take our time. Take our time this season to follow these simple steps. Take our time to write the vision down, what you want to accomplish. Take our time to write it down. Please, nobody's going to review you. By next year, I may get into some review programs. Take our time and write it down. Make it as plain as anything. As plain as when a child, a 2-year-old reads it. Guess what happens? That 2-year-old understands it. Number 3, review it from time to time. Always review it. It's yours. Nobody is going to see it. Review it. Am I making progress? Am I building according to plan? Then the 4th one, run with it. Take action. These are the 4 steps. Take what? Action. Can someone list for me quickly the 4 steps? Mr. Toby, can you help me and do that quickly? The 4 steps. Okay. Oh, I've seen. Okay, you've sent it already. Write it down. Make it plain. Write that vision, that thing you want to accomplish. Write it down. Make it simple. Make it plain. Then read and review it from time to time. Run with it. Action. That is how to create the life that you've always wanted. This is the formula. This is the formula for success as handed over to God, to you, by God to you. Write it down. Vision can mean goals. Make it plain. Make it very simple.